what's interesting with you? I feel like you kind of flipped. I remember because you look so different from like your early days, your hair, your style, whatever. And I feel like when I showed people, there were people who knew you how you looked in the beginning of your career. And I would show them like your new special and they'd be like, oh, wow, like he's got the bomber jacket on, his beard looks nice, he cut his hair, he looks like that. And then now it's the opposite where I'm like, do you know, this is what it used to look like in the beginning. And they know you from the new look and they don't know the old look, which I think is a good thing, right? It's like you've flipped and you've gotten so much more fans as time has gone on. But I feel like that glow up, man, I mean, you look entirely different.
I know. Well, it was.
What was that? Like your wife told you like, you got to cut your hair, dude.
It was just no. She never. It was just we were just a mess back then, dude. You're just in New York doing comedy, like you're in the grind. You're out every night. You're partying. You're eating McDonald's every night. Like you're doing all these kind of things, and so then it just kind of. I just kind of stopped. You know, it's like you kind of stopped. I stopped drinking. I stopped.
Yeah, who knew if you treat your body like shit, you know, you don't look your best. Who knew?
You don't look your best.
Were you a big partier?
Yeah. We got after. I mean, in the you know, I always say quit drinking. I mean, clear. I didn't have a problem in the fact that like, you know, like with Soder hasn't drinking forever, but when Soder would drink, like Soder and them would always be doing shots. Like they'd be at the table. We had beers, and they would do a shot at the table, and they'd go buy another round of beers. And then Soder would take a shot up there by himself and then go back with the beer. It was like that kind of thing. And, you know, so it's hard to sometimes know like when you should stop because you're, you know, it's like I wasn't like, it's not like I was even like I'm drinking at home or I'm drinking alone or I'm doing all these kind of things. But I just, in this world that I'm in, alcohol was everywhere. I was doing it every night. It made me feel so bad. I didn't know how to kind of turn it off. I just kind of keep going. And so I was like, well, if I want to get better at my craft, if I want to always be able to wake up and feel like I want to go do something or I want to do a good show, I need to quit drinking. And I'm feeling that now with food. Now that I've stopped drinking, now I can kind of, with food, I'm going, all right, like, yeah, when I eat something, I feel kind of sluggish. I feel tired. I want to nap. And you're like, I don't need to be doing this. I need to kind of have my brain not be slow.
when you were, to go back to Rogan again, when you said that you would eat like, and this is why I always resonate with you. Cause when you said that you would eat like 4 Krispy Kreme donuts, no problem. I didn't even like flinch at that. And Rogan was like, what? You would do what? And it's like, yeah, man, that's like no issue. But so you're even cutting that out, huh?
Yeah. So I've gave up sugar and really just sweets.
Just all sugar?
No, just the sweets.
Okay.
And so like I'm still having bread and stuff. I think eventually get a bread. I mean, I could eat a piece of pizza. Like I'm not getting, but my sweets was bad. I eat ice cream every night and I eat Sour Patch Kids. I mean, like I'm really going. I could eat donuts. I could get that kind of thing. And I would do it every day. And I've been doing it every day for a while. And it's every day. And I'm actually very active. Like I started working out. I golf every day. Yeah. So like I'm pretty active. And I realized like I'm not putting enough energy in my body. And so then I would feel just like I could just feel like your body feels awful because you're like, I'm not giving myself fuel. And I don't eat enough anyway. But when I do eat, it's bad and it's late at night. And then because it all comes crashing down where you're starving. And then you're just like,
whatever's in sight. Yes.
Handfuls of Sour Patch Kids. I mean, handfuls. It's 70 of them. Like it's
when I look at serving sizes of things, the only thing in the world, the goldfish serving sizes is 55 pieces. That's the only thing on earth that's a real serving size. Everything else, I'm like,
that makes sense.
Oh, I had 100 of these and I'm supposed to only have like 7. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's not good. But man,
good.
I mean, it shows like it physically shows with you, but also, I mean, I hate to hear that because it's changes that I have not made. I don't really drink anymore, but the food, like those are changes I have not made. I probably even got worse, if anything. And it's like, but you're doing better in life and you're like feeling better and probably succeeding more. I'm like, damn it does work. Damn it. I don't want to hear that.
Your mood, I think it's a little better. I mean, it's not all there, and I'm not completely there yet where I'm eating really, really good. But I mean, I'm 42. So like I'm at, food never, I mean, clearly it affected me. Look how I looked back then.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy to not know, like, if I would have just
see it
even
happening.
somewhat cared at all, like, I don't necessarily think I'm ever going to be a big, I mean, I was eating where, like, I shouldn't be able to walk into a door.
Right.
Like, but like my metabolism is clearly pretty good.
Yeah.
But I was like fighting it so hard.
Yeah. So like, imagine if your body didn't have to go to war with the food you're putting in every fucking day.
It's your body's just like, oh, here we go.
Here we go. Yep. The Krispy Kremes are coming down the hatch again. Let's do it. Yeah, man.
Krispy Kremes, McDonald's for lunch. He's like, your body's like, you're killing me, dude.
Well, I guess that would lead me to my last question, because I feel like there's been times throughout my career, two things that I think we've kind of mentioned here that you're doing better at. I used to worry about, like, I'm not drinking anymore and I'm not partying anymore. And honestly, if I were to stop eating like I eat, I almost feel like a part of my persona and a part of my comedy is, I say comedy lightly because it's not like your guys' comedy, but like part of my podcast material is gone. And it's almost like people like expect that of me. And they'd be like, well, what is this new version of you that like doesn't drink and eats healthy? And I'm always like a little bit nervous about that. And in the same vein, the idea of like taking time off and kind of like you said, like, I don't have to do one special a year. I can maybe, spread it out, where I feel like if I don't keep putting shit out, there's someone else who's going to come along that'll just like fill that spot in that person's day. But I feel like I hope at least you reach a point where you're just confident enough in your act and in your material and whatever it is that you do, where you're like, I'm still funny if I eat healthy, still funny if I take a little bit of time off. But I guess you just reached that point where you're confident enough in that.
Yeah. I mean, I always look at it as like, I do like to be, I don't do a ton of stuff on Instagram, like actual, like live stuff. My Instagram page is very good we post a lot of videos. We do a lot of comedy. There's a lot of content on it, but there's not a lot of like this, like personal kind of.
Right.
And that was the thing I was weird about a podcast, is like, I kind of like being like, you don't really see me. You don't know. A little
mysterious. Yeah.
Because when I do stand up, I want you to, that's when you get what I do. Mm-hmm. And so, but you do have to do it every day. What you're doing is a little bit different of a thing. That work ethic can't go away. I mean, you can't have that, because someone will take your
absolutely
spot.
Yeah.
So like that work ethic doesn't go away. The work ethic I'm fine with you keeping. The other aspect where you think about, which I've fought too, about like, I used to have all drinking stories.
Right.
I would have now I have eating bad stories, or eating bad and all this kind of stuff. So I would always worry about that being like, is that going to affect that I'm now not this guy, and then I don't become this thing? But what I would always look at is, you go, well, if you can't quit that stuff and still continue what you do, then you're not good enough.
Not good anyway. Right.
Because you shouldn't be able to. It goes back to funny. Like, so one of my favorite stories when I started comedy is, I remember this guy I might have told you somewhere, but I don't know. But I tell this story. This guy, an open mic comedian, we're all terrible. This guy had a ponytail, and he would go up and do 5 minutes of jokes about having a ponytail, and they would like do really good. But he had this ponytail, and he would just blah, blah, whatever. So one day he shows up, and he doesn't have he cut his ponytail. His ponytail's gone. And so we're like, what are you going to do, dude? And he was like offended. He's like, I got other jokes, man. Like, it's not like I'm just a ponytail comic. And we're like, all right, man, sorry. And he goes up there and he starts his other jokes, and they bomb so hard. And then he goes, so I used to have a ponytail. And then he starts doing his old ponytail stuff. And I remember, I was like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be, I don't want to have to go. So I used to have a ponytail. So you just end up becoming better at what you do. And yeah, you don't need it,
Right.